here. This is a session which will take place in hybrid format. So we have one student in the room, but also several online. You've just heard the introduction by Jérémy Mandin, who is coordinating the Master in Sociology, the focus on migration and ethnic studies with myself as academic director. My name is Hassan Bousseta, but we don't do that only the two of us. We have several colleagues, and I'd like to welcome Daniela Vintila, who is one of the professors who is online with us. And I'd like also to thank Valkyria, who is one of our former students who have kindly accepted to join this meeting and gave a testimony of her experience during this master. So we are going to have, the following points on the agenda. I'm going to say a word about the University of Liège and life in Liège, student life in Liège. Then we're going to look at the program, at its different dimensions, the different tracks that you have on offer. And then we'll go to the admission process, which is of particular importance, especially for overseas students. And then you will have some time to ask questions. Okay? So let's first look at a few data about the University of Liège and student life in Liège. Our university is a publicly funded university of the French-speaking part of Belgium. For those who are not familiar, in Belgium we have two large linguistic communities. We have also three regions. It's a complex country with a lot of divisions along the linguistic lines, but which makes it a very interesting case for anyone interested in multiculturalism and multilingualism. So our university is located in the eastern part of the country and is a full university, which is more than 2 centuries old because it was founded in 1817. We have a full scope of educational offer with 11 faculties, 5,500 staff members, and more than 25,000 students, which is quite sizable in Belgian terms. We have more than 200 master programs and a lot of mobility, exchange, and cooperation agreements with a range of European and international universities. And you will see that our program in migration and ethnic studies has a few specific mobility offers for you. We have several campuses. The main one is the one where I'm located right now, which is a little further away from the city center. It's a campus called Sartillement. It's a few miles away from the city center. And it's a campus which hosts plenty of activities. It's nearly 8 kilometers squared, so it's very, very big. We're located actually in the woods. And it's somewhere up on the hill, so you will see that it's a very nice location, a little bit outside of the city, which means that you will have to commute for joining the campus. It's an easy 20-25 minutes ride to reach the campus. Now, on the next slide, a few words about accommodation. I guess that anyone who wants to come to Liège will be interested to know about how to find a place, where to base himself or herself. We have in town, so Liège is a city of a little more than 200,000 inhabitants. Actually, the suburban environment is much larger. We estimate that the urban environment is something like 600,000 people. The larger administrative city is 600,000, but the core of the city is 200,000. We have 7,000 accommodations on offer in town and on the campus. And you will see that our central services are able to provide you with a database of private accommodation that are for rent in town. So the offer has generally been more important than the demand, so which makes it a quite I would say, an affordable place in comparison to other cities, especially if you look at the prices of the rent. Usually we are around, the lowest would be 300, but I would say that, on average, we're more like 500 euros per month for a rent for a student accommodation rent in town. But it may go upper. Of course, there are also offers which are more expensive, but this is the scope of the prices that you would find in town. We also have a number of residences. You have there on the PowerPoint the link in order to check the accommodation provided on campus by the university. From what we hear, Jeremy and I, from the student experience, we know that the cost of living are generally considered as, not bad, although it's still expensive, of course, 600 to 900 euro per month. You have there a link which will help you to establish a budget of what is necessary for studying here in Liège. But I must say, that's our experience that comparatively at European level, we are considered as quite affordable place. We have a large number of international students, especially in our master, which attracts a lot of overseas students. And you will see that the offer for activities besides education is very broad. In sports, culture, we have our own theater, we have a quite wide range of offers for student life. Also plenty of training offers, starting from language courses, which is provided in town. Plenty of also events to which you'll be interested to attend, because Liège is known in French-speaking Belgium to have a very lively cultural scene in music, theater, anything, you name it, and you will find it in Liège. I must say that it's a city. I've been living more than 10 years of my life in Brussels, and I always come back to Liège, so it's not a bad town to live in, and I think many of our students quite enjoy student life in Liège. Okay, by the next slide, you will see that the campus, which is, as I said, outside. You see there is a picture which shows how green the campus is outside the city, and you reach this campus by public transportation. You can also reach it by bike if you're because it's climbing a little bit. So if you have an electric bike, that's easy. If you don't, that's more complicated. But there are even colleagues who do it. This is also an option. The university has put in place a carpooling, a car sharing option with an app that you can use for reaching the campus. And we also have in town a brand new tramway service in the city. You have already spoken about cultural life, which is very lively. And of course, one of the main elements about the city is that you are in the center of a diamond, in the sense of geographical diamond, where you have Amsterdam in 2 hours, Maastricht less than half an hour, Brussels, Germany, Paris is 1 hour and a half by train. So you're very central in Northwest Europe, so very easy to reach any destination to visit in less than 2 hours. So this is it. Of course, I could add a few more words about the history of the city. We are a former industrial city. Liège is one of the regions, and the Walloon region. We belong to the Walloon region, and Wallonia, together with the Midlands in the UK, was among the first regions in Europe to enter into the Industrial Revolution. And so when you are in Liège, you see the remnants, what remains of this industrial past, which is plain to see in town. And this is also something to which we have a big interest, because that's also this industrial life has triggered a lot of migration, a lot of working class migration, and that's also something which we're interested. And so there is a connection between what the city is actually and what the city has to offer, especially in this master in migration studies. So much for this introduction, and let's go now straight to the core of what is of interest to you, the Master in Migration and Ethnic Studies, and I leave it now to Jeremy to take on the floor.
Yes, you hear me? Yeah. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So yes, thank you very much, Hassan. Do not hesitate to interrupt me, because I will say a few words about the SEDEM. And well, Hassan is one of the main persons connected with this Center for Ethnic and Migration Studies. So he knows much more than me on the history of SEDEM. But I joined this center 10 years ago, or a bit more, 12 years ago. So I think I can say a few words about it. So it's a center that was created in 1995, which at the Belgium level was really something very in advance of its time. It's one, if not the first research center dedicated to migration studies in Belgium. I don't know if I'm right, Hassan, but it's nevertheless one of the precursors of the study of migration and ethnic studies in Belgium. And it's a center that was really at the forefront in introducing some research fields in Belgium, and in some ways also in Europe. We can think about work about ethnicity, which was not something that was easily studied in European and especially French-speaking contexts at the time. But so it's a research center that was very important in the development of migration and ethnic studies in Belgium and in Europe too. It's a research center. It will be illustrated a bit later in this presentation, that has definitely multidisciplinary element to it. So it brings together a group of researchers that works in anthropology, sociology. We have people from political science, etc., etc. So it's really something that characterizes this research center. It's a research center that also very active in research, and which benefit to some fundings. A lot of projects are funded and are conducted by the SEDEM. It's also a center that has, of course, a very intense academic life, but it's a research center which also value a lot the connection with civil society. And so it reflects in the type of events that we organize. It also reflects in the publications that are produced. So we definitely have an academic I mean, the academic work is of course central, but it's a center that is very well connected with a different type of actors in society, including civil society actors, migrants organization, different types of institutions, etc. You can find, of course, all the annual activity reports and information about the SEDEM online. And it's a center that is also very well connected in international networks. I will tell a bit more about this later. I will not spend too much time on it. It's just for you to see the diversity of research projects that are developed, that are currently developed in the CEDEM. So you have a big variety of topics. I would really encourage you to check on our website if you want to know more about this. So, of course, the research center, as a student, you will not enroll to a research center, but to an academic program. But you will see that the two aspects, so the research center and the master program, are very much linked together in many ways. So first, a few words about how we teach and how we teach in the Master in Migration and Ethnic Studies. Well, the first element that is important to keep in mind is that it's a master that value a lot the presence of the student and the active participation of students. So we often have questions about, is it possible to follow your program from a distance or online or things like that? No, it's not possible. We really want the students to be on site during the lectures and to interact with the professor, with the team, and with their fellow students. We value very much the participation of students. And the course are really built, most of them, I would say all of them, are really built around an active engagement of students, sometimes through preparatory readings. We often ask students to write papers, etc., etc. So we really value this aspect, and it's a central aspect of our curriculum. We also, and this is maybe here, we see a link with the research center. It's because, of course, you will have your course, your classes, but you'll see that during the academic year, the CEDEM is organizing a lot of events, conferences, sometimes it's a projection of a film, sometimes it's a musical performance, etc., etc. And students are always invited to participate to these events and to attend to these events. So you have your curriculum with your classes, but you also have a lot of opportunity to meet researchers, to participate to conferences, to really engage with the academic life and really like the current debates in migration studies. It's a master that, so the master is 2 years, okay? And a big part of the master is, of course, the master thesis. We'll see this in a few minutes, but we are very keen also to support students in their own academic journey and in the writing and the preparation and the research and the writing of their master thesis. So the master thesis works with a system of supervisors, and supervisors are the main reference who will guide the students throughout the thesis process during the second year. I already mentioned that the CEDEM is very multidisciplinary. It's also something that we find in our courses in the master program. So you will have courses that are more oriented towards sociology. Some courses will work more on political science, on the economic aspects or legal aspects of migration. So it's really something that we value in our master program. The idea, of course, is to provide students with a critical view on society. This might sound a bit banal in the presentation of a master program, but I'm sure you all know that migration is a very heated topic. It's a topic that emerges constantly in public discourse. Political actors are very often talking about migration. So it's a very heated topic. And we think that our program helps to really have a critical approach of this field, and so that's something that we think is really an added value in engaging in a master program like the master program we offer. As we said earlier, Liège is involved in many international projects, and the CEDEM is involved in many international projects too. Among some of the projects, the Liège is part of the European University Unique project, and it's also coordinating. And we are very happy to have Daniela Vintila here because she's part of the coordination team. So the CEDEM is coordinating one of the bigger, I think the bigger international migration research network. So it's a very big network of academic working on migration, and the CEDEM is coordinating the organization of many major conferences in Europe and related to this UNESCO network. So, I mean, our master program being connected also with the CEDEM aspects, it's really a good place to be really at the center of migration studies in Europe. I will not take too much time because I see we're already 6:30. Just to say that because of this connection between the research center and the master, all the courses are very much rooted in the teacher's experience in research. So you will follow the classes, you will learn about current research projects, what you will learn will be illustrated by what we do as researchers, and it's really a dynamic that we like to share with the students. So an overview of the program here. So it's a 2-year program, okay? 120 credits, ECTS. The first year, you'll see a variety of courses that you will have. So sociology of migration, transnationalism and development, theory of integration, diversity and multiculturalism, refugee studies, European immigration policy, research design and methods in migration studies, using quantitative data and methods in migration studies, digital workshop in migration studies, citizenship and political participation of minorities, sociology of racism and anti-racism, and the possibility to join some UMIX activities. So just to show you that the program is a bit intense. You have a number of courses that you have to take. You also see the variety of topics that are addressed throughout the courses. We'll see this, let's say, political science flavor in some of the courses. Some are more anthropology oriented. You have both qualitative and quantitative research training. So it's this multidisciplinarity that is illustrated here. So this was for the first year. For the second year, you'll see that the program is much lighter. Why? Because a very big part of the program is the master thesis. You see that it's 30 ECTS credits. So it's a big part of the second year, of course. And actually, up until now, we freed the whole second semester of the second year for the students to work on their master thesis. Okay, this master thesis, you will not be alone with the master thesis because we also have a thesis seminar that is organized throughout the second year and which is designed to help students to keep in touch with teachers and in a way to share the challenges they face during their master thesis. Well, so this was the courses that we offer in Liège. Okay, of course, you can find all this information on the program website that I put it here in this slide. And then you heard about what we offer in Liège, but there is a specificity to this program. If you want to participate to the program, you will have a choice. You will have actually several options to complete this program. and we distinguish three main tracks, okay? Your first option, once you're registered and enrolled in our program, is to do your 2-year degree in Liège. So it's a very good way to pursue the program, and it's actually what Valkyria did. So you spend your 2 years in Liège, and then you obtain your degree in sociology with a focus on migration and ethnic studies. A second option is to do your 2-year in Liège with an exchange semester. So an exchange semester, it's half a semester. No, sorry, 1 semester, and during half a year, so 1 semester, you can move to one of the 12 partner universities that I will present in minutes. So it's a second track that is possible. You have your first year in Liège, and during the second year, you can spend 1 semester abroad. And when you come back, you do your master thesis, and after that, you have the degree from Liège. And the third option is what we call the double degree program, the UMIX double degree program. So the double degree program, it's simple. You make your first year in Liège, and after your first year in Liège, you can do your second year in one of the partner university of the program. And at the end of the second year, when you finish your thesis and when you complete all your courses, you obtain 2 degrees. The degrees from the Liège and the degree from the host university. So this is called the UMIX double degree program. It's a very interesting program with a lot of activities that can that students can benefit to. So here are the 3 options that you have when you enroll in our master program. This is an overview of the partner university. So you see here that you have the double degree partners. These are the partners that you can go for the double degree program. Okay, so we have now 8 partners in Germany, in Sweden, in Switzerland, in Spain, in Austria, and 2 partners in France, 1 in Paris and 1 in the Université Côte d'Azur. So it means that if you want to go for the double degree, these are the potential destinations that you can have for your second year. Okay, then you have the network partners, so a few more partners in Portugal, again in France, in Denmark, and in the Netherlands. And the networks partners are part of what we call the extending network, which comprise both the double degree partners and the network partners. And the sum of the two are the destinations that you can have for a 1 semester exchange. Okay. I don't know if it's very clear. It's not fully clear. We can see about this in the Q&A. Well, what about the career opportunities? Of course, you will study migration studies for 2 years. What are the opportunities after that? Well, this, of course, this master opens like a variety of possible opportunities and career opportunities. Of course, you will be trained in migration studies. The master thesis is also an important part of this training. So you will be prepared for work that is academia related. So we have every year students that, and I think it's the case of Valkyria, that wants to pursue an academic career, and so who submit a research project to agencies and who obtain fundings through this. So academic opportunities are an option, but it's also a master that will give you tools to work in NGOs that are specialized in migration, for example. And you see that in Liège, you have a lot of local NGOs working on migration. As Hassan said, we are also close to Brussels. So in Brussels, you also have a lot of organizations, NGOs, think tank, etc., who are focused on migration or who can be interested in experts in migration. So it's also definitely something that you can consider after following our master program. For example, one of the possibilities is professional junior officers for international organization, l'Organisation internationale pour les migrations, le Haut Commissariat des Nations Unies pour les réfugiés, etc., etc. It's also possible to work for governmental agencies at a lot of levels. You can work with local authorities, with regional or national authorities, for European organizations too, etc. So it's really a curriculum that gives you tools that can be used in many type of positions in the future. Okay, now I will go to the more technical parts, the admission process. That's something that might, I guess, interest you. So first about the admission criteria, okay. One of our requirement is a B2 level in English. So usually we ask for a proof of a B2 level in English, which can be provided by kind of a testing institution such as TOEFL, for example. So we usually ask for a certificate from such organization. But of course, maybe some of you already did I mean, comes from English-speaking countries or did their most of their education in English or followed a program in English language or an exchange experience of several months in an English-speaking country. So, of course, this would also count as a proof that you are English proficient. So that's one point. Then you have understood at this point that our master program is, of course, mostly oriented to students who have a background in social science. However, we understand social science in a relatively broad term. We include in it sociology, anthropology, humanities, economy, political science. It can work also for some training in law, some training in international relation, etc. So a relatively broad understanding. And we also accept students who have kind of an alternative background that is not fully in social science. But every year we accept students who have different background. And one aspect that can help us to kind of accept you in the program is the professional experience. I don't know, you did your bachelor and then after that you spend 1 or 2 years as a volunteer in an association working with migrants population. It can count as a plus if you want to enroll in our master. Also, for people who have a less, let's say, less background in social science, we can also accept you with the condition of following additional training, okay? Well, there is a bit of a linguistic aspect because most of the alternative training that is offered at the University of Liège will be in French. So we also have possibilities in English, but depending of your background and of your skills in social science, this is something that can have an impact. And I also have to say that for the candidates that needs additional courses in their curriculum, this has an impact on the UMIX double degree track. because you can only do the double degree track if you completed all of the credits that you have to complete for the first year, which is not possible if you have additional courses. So for those who need additional courses, either you do your first year in 2 years, if you absolutely want to do the double degree track, or you can go for the shorter mobility program that we have with EU Mix. And just to conclude with this, to say that this diversity of students, we really much enjoy and encourage it in a way, with the condition that, of course, every student needs to have the proper skills to be able to follow the program. But we very much enjoy the diversity that this brings. So these are the very concrete elements. So to enroll in ULiège, you have to go through the admission and registration process, which is done online. Okay, so you have to go on this web page that you see now on the website of the University of Liège, and we do not have control on this process. So this has to be carried out by the admission office. So it means that you can, of course, write to me if you have trouble with the admission and registration, but you have to contact in priority the contacts that you can see here, which are the contacts of the registration and admission office. Because we do not have control on this, we only receive your application once the admission part is done, and then our jury evaluate every application and give a decision on every application. Okay. Of course, if there is trouble to contact the admission office, you can also contact me, but I will most likely redirect you also to the admission office. So just for you to know that we don't have really control on this part of the aspect. And maybe the most important element here is that the application process is not open yet. Okay, it opens on the 18th of February. Okay, so the online form will be available on the 18th of February. So you can start the application process, the admission process on the 18th of February. We are very early in the academic year, in the year, but it's very important for you, especially for non-EU students, to start the process as soon as possible. Because for non-EU students, you can start your admission form on the 18th of February and you have to close it before the very end of March. So it gives you 1 month and a half, okay, not even 1 month and a half, to complete the admission and the application file, okay? So I would really encourage the non-EU students to start the application process as soon as it opens on the 18th of February, okay? Usually for non-EU students, this also involve visa procedures, etc. So really, it's very good if you start as soon as possible. For EU students, you can also start your application on the 18th of February, and then all the file and documents has to be uploaded before the 31st of August, so the end of August. Again, I would encourage you to do it as soon as possible. The sooner, the better. You will have the decision sooner. It will be more practical for you. So I encourage students to start it as soon as possible anyway. For Belgian students, it's easier, of course. So you can register from June to the end of September. Again, at the end of September, Belgian students know that the course already began, and in our master we began before the 13th of September. So again, if you're interested in our master, try to register in June, July, August, in order for you to be really ready when the academic year starts. Okay, that's it for me. You have our contacts here. So you can contact me or Hassan for information about the master. For more technical aspect, you can also contact our international office and faculty admin, who is Valérie Pitrebois, actually. So you have her address here. And as I said, for all the application process, you have the contacts of the admission office. Okay, that's it for me. I will close the presentation and I will give the floor to Valkyria. Valkyria is here. It's one of our former students. We are very lucky to have her. And yeah, Valkyria, if you can present maybe in a few minutes your experience and maybe the advice that you you would give to potential students.
For sure. Thank you very much for having me here today. I hope you can all listen to me correctly. So I will try to condense a lot of my 2 year experience in a few minutes, but in the Q&A, if anything was underexplored and any of you are interested in me talking a bit more about it, feel free. So my name is Valkyria. I am from Brazil. I am currently 25, and originally I am a journalist. So I am one of those students whose background was not fully encompassed in social sciences, but I had a very solid very solid courses of like general social sciences during my journalism bachelor. So I believe that that helped my application being considered. Um, yes, I love communication, but when I was studying journalism, I also had a lot of contact with undergraduate research, which was something that really captured my heart. And well, especially in the social sciences realm. So after having a period, an Erasmus period here in Belgium, but in another university, I was very interested to pursue a master's in Belgium. And yes, that's what I did. And when looking for the options, I was very captivated by the program that we are talking about here today, about migration and ethnic studies at the University of Liège. And as a non-EU student, indeed, as Jeremy said, there are some additional procedures you have to go through. So I corroborate his advice to start as early as possible. As a piece of my experience, for instance, I started the procedure, I think, 5 days before it closed, and it was very intense. I do not recommend that. So please try as soon as possible to do so, and especially regarding, for example, any type of exam that you choose to prove your English language capabilities, because these might take a little longer to reveal the results and so on. So that is particularly important, I would say, from my point of view. So regarding the choice for the program itself, as I mentioned before, I am a journalist originally, and because of that, I had a lot of contact with the theme of migration, of course. It's a very heated subject and also very contentious, especially in some parts of the world. In Brazil, where I come from, not so much, but still very present in the public sphere in other ways. But as I had this contact with the theme and I really wanted to study something in the social sciences realm, I really felt an identification with the program and I decided to enroll. And I think that one of the best parts of studying, particularly in this program, is its multifaceted character. So it's very broad. You get to explore a lot of different aspects of this phenomenon. And as one of our professors usually said, Professor Marco Martiniello, migration is the complete human phenomenon. So you can see it through a myriad of lenses, and it's really very enriching. Um, and I believe that also, the fact that it was a full English program really counted on my decision-making process. Even though I followed French courses before coming to Belgium, I felt way more comfortable studying in English and also doing the assignments and all of those procedures in English. So I chose it also for that. And talking about the geographic location, I think it's also interesting. As Professor Hassan mentioned before, Belgium is really in the heart of Europe, so you can find a lot of ways of exploring neighboring countries. There are four neighbors very close by, and sometimes you can access them by like a normal bus, and it's very nice. And also within Belgium, it's a very small country, I would say, especially comparing to my home country. And I, for example, lived in one city and went to classes in Liège, and that was possible by train. So it really gives you the opportunity to go around the country, and the trains, sometimes they are delayed, sometimes there are strikes. And if you come to Belgium, you will hear a lot about that. But it still functions very nicely, very well connected. Regarding the masters again, I had some loose notes. I'm sorry if it's a little bit unstructured, but I think that the research-oriented character is phenomenal. That was exactly what I was looking for when I enrolled for this masters, because that was really something that I enjoy and I resonate with. And when we talk about the students, the student body, I think one of the nice highlights of the masters is the diversity of backgrounds. So you have people from several countries. In my class, we had people from Greece, from Ireland, from Germany. So you had a lot of different perspectives, and that was always extremely enriching for all the classes and the exchanges we had. And I also find it very a great quality of this master's that we have the more specific courses on migration, but you also have a broad approach, for example, with gender studies or with geopolitical questions also, and that really enriches looking at migration on a broader prospect. So it's very interesting. Talking about the network, something that Jeremy already mentioned, I think that one of the privileges of being in this particular master's program is indeed the connections. So Unique is very interesting. For example, for the summer school, I participated last year. It was at Koç University in Istanbul, and it was a delightful experience. I loved every day that I spent there. The classes were great. The infrastructure was very nice, and this is one of the experiences you can have, for example, during this master's program. And I really encourage for you to try and look at these opportunities because they are there. There's also EU Mix. I cannot talk directly about it because I followed my 2 years all in Liège. But I know that all the people who decided to take this route of going through the EU Mix programs were very happy with their experience also. In MISCO, also extremely interesting, the International Migration and Research Network. I had the chance, for example, to work on support for the last conference last year, and it was very nice. So just being in touch with all of these different networks and these different researchers, it's extremely stimulating, and I really love that about the program. And I think I have to say the same about SEDEM. Like, it's extremely active, it's diverse, it's dynamic, and dare I say even fun, I would say, because we had, for example, the Christmas gatherings every end of the year, and I loved participating in all of them. They're so nice. So you have this research-oriented atmosphere, but you also have a very warm and welcoming research environment, which it's delightful to be part of. Um, Yes, so also some field activities. I'm almost finishing, but one of the field activities I highlighted here on my experience, for example, was that we went in the first year. I had the chance together with my colleagues to go to an asylum seeker center of the Red Cross. So we had the chance to see and talk to the people who were living there at the time, and that was very eye-opening. It was very interesting to, because of course we hear a lot about the realities, and we hear about the discourses surrounding, for example, this particular category of migrants, but sometimes it's a bit monolithic and we don't really see who they are, and to go to one of these centers and have the chance to exchange with them was very enriching. So that was, for example, one of the activities I would like to highlight. Yes, so this is my contribution here. If you have any other questions, I would be very happy to answer. And I hope that I was able to bring a little bit more of my perspective as a student. And I pass the floor again to Jeremy.
Thank you very much, Valkyria. Thank you very much for your very kind and very flattering presentation of the master. Usually the students we invite find one or two less perfect aspects about the master. So I want to reassure everybody, our master is not as perfect as Valkyria presented. No, I'm joking. Thank you very much, Valkyria. It's really nice to see that students enjoy the time that they spent with us, and we'll let you discover the joy of the bus commutings and all the practicality that might bring some some interesting aspects in your life in the campus. But we are very proud to be able to have such feedback from students. Thank you very much, Valkyria. I will now finish the recording. Les questions, n'hésitez pas.